Guys, you can
Okay.
mention in the comment section if you've downloaded. If you are facing any challenges, also please highlight so we can assist you. That is the purpose of these evening sessions.
Okay. So in the morning, we just like get a high level overview of Motoko, how to build the playground, the website, and yeah, I understand it must have been confusing to some of you, but now we are going to get into more detail on how exactly you can actually create some projects, deploy them locally on the playground or on the mainnet. So I will start by creating a project locally. I like doing it locally. So okay, you can all see my screen. All right. So once again, for those who might want to like follow along with me and try whatever I will be doing, if you want to install the CDK and follow along with me locally, you can actually do it right now. If your internet is okay, it should be done in a few minutes. So install CDK. This is the guide. So what you basically need to do is, if you're Mac or, okay, how many of you are using Windows? Please just highlight in the chat if you are using Windows. Just highlight in the chat. And then, so if you are using Linux, you basically have to run this command, and I'm sure, and then here you have to install the DFX virtual version manager, sure, right? Okay, but no worries, no big worries about that. If you can do it during this call, go ahead. If you can't, that's okay. Okay, there's a number of you using Windows. That's all right. Yeah, with Windows, it's also straightforward, but can be a bit challenging here and there. So you can try it out, and if you are getting some errors, just let us know. With Windows, you come here. With Windows, you just need you just need to install Windows subsystem for Linux, and then once you have subsystem for Windows or Linux, Windows subsystem for Linux, then you are good to go. And you can then install DFX CDK and whatever you have. But also, just as a side note, so as a developer, if you want your experience to be less stressful, you can try to dual boot your Windows with Linux or with Ubuntu or whatever your favorite distro, and it would make your life way easier to install these programs and everything else. But anyway, let me create a project. I'd like to show you how you can create a brand new project on your local computer. So say you have, let's say you have installed the CDK, you now have it on your machine. You can create your project wherever you want your project to be. And then there's you can verify the DFX that you have, like DFX version. I have version 0.16.1. That's almost the latest one. And if it's running like this, you know you are good to go. And then when you want to start a new project locally, what you do is you run the command dfx new, and then so the CDK natively support Motoko and Rust, right? So for Motoko, it's straightforward. You don't have to pass extra parameters, because this is like the thing for it. And then so you do dfx new, the name of the project. What can you say? Maybe hello world. Hello world. That's it. That's the command for creating a new project, and then you hit enter. The CDK itself is built in Rust. If you know some Rust, you can actually say like this. This is how Rust does its thing. So let's just wait for it. So it creates the project, and then by default, like if you run the command like this, you are creating a project with both the back end and the front end for your new project. That's how it works by default. If you want to have only a backend canister, you can pass in a parameter here, like no, like you type dfx new hello world, and then you put a flag like no front end, and then it will create a project with a backend only. But by default, it will create a complete project with a backend and a front end. So you will know that it's done when you see this screen with the beautiful internet computer logo, and you know you are good to go. So let's see what we created. So here it is, hello world. That's our newly created Motoko project with its front end and back end. So I will CD into it, and then I will open my VS Code inside this project. So here we are. Okay, so this is our project. We have the node modules, as you are seeing, like it was installing. It's not some packages after creating the project here. And then we have the source directory. So this source directory is the one with our backend, hello world backend, Then with our Motoko file, our boilerplate Motoko file, with a new actor for a greeting function. And then we have our front end that is just using vanilla HTML and JavaScript here. It's a hello world. For now, we are not worrying much about front end. I'm actually going to remove this front end. For now, we are just mostly focusing on the backend canister, on creating on writing the actual Motoko, and then in the next sessions we'll go deeper into front ends and how you can integrate with your favorite frameworks and everything else. So that's it. That's what we have. We have the back end, we have the front end. Okay, I said yellow word. It's okay. And then we have the .env file. So this .env file, as you can see right now, is empty. And so when you deploy your canisters, it will generate canister IDs, as we have spoken about in the morning. It will generate canister ID. They will be saved in this .env file. You will see that very soon. Then you have the git ignore by default. It's removing some files with the dfx JSON. So this dfx JSON is what I can call one of the most important files for your project, right? Because it declares, it tells the CDK what you have and what you want deployed, right? So here we have canisters. So the canisters we have in this project, we have 2 canisters at the moment. We have the back end canister and the front end, canister, or an assets canister, right? So we have these 2 canisters, and we are showing the path to the relative files that are important for the canisters, like this one, this back end. And for the front end, we have it here pointing to the index HTML here, and yeah, and some sources, whatever. We will not go deeper into the front end, as we said. We'll get into it later. And then here we have some configurations here, some we have the output file. This line here is responsible for actually generating the canister IDs you will see in here very soon. And then yeah, that's the GFX JSON. You can create this on your own, whichever way you want, when you are really comfortable with this. And then the package JSON. By default, it comes with some packages for some definitive packages and some packages for the front end with Webpack, etc. Yeah, so that's what you get for a default Motoko project, what you get when you run by default. So before I remove stuff we don't need at the moment, let's just deploy this project and see, so you can see some of the stuff I was talking about. So to deploy a project, you can run dfx deploy. And if you run dfx deploy, it will deploy everything, all the canisters that are in the dfx JSON. If you just run dfx deploy on its own. So I'll run, okay. So first I have to start my local replica. my local network. So my local replica of the internet computer. So to start that, I use this command vfx start clean. I want it to run in the background so that it won't confuse me. So so there are two ways actually. You can run it and let it run as it is like this with into VFX start clean, and then your DFX will start running. But if you want to do something else, you will have to create like a new terminal. But that's unnecessary extra work. That's unnecessary extra work. What you can just do is so the best way to normally do it is to do DFX start clean and then you pass the background so that it will just run in the background. And if you accidentally close your terminal or your VS Code, it won't stop your canister from running. So your local canisters from running. So now it's running in the background, and then now we are able to deploy VFX deploy. So now it's creating a wallet canister on the local network. Yeah, it created the canister, hello world backend, and it created the front end canister. And yeah, it's compiling and deploying the assets. So you see, we now have our backend canister here, our front end, I mean, hello front end, and then hello backend. So you can actually see our backend here on this on Candid UI. So this is it. Grid. So you can pass in what you want. You call the function hello hello. You understand why it's saying hello. I can say, it will say hello, not here. So that's the back end, and then the front end canister. This is the front end canister, and it's not working as it should. Okay, I won't worry about this for now. Okay. But you can do npm start, and then you can start the webpack server for the front end. Just to show you something. npm start, and then you open this localhost URL. So this is the front end. It's connected to the back end. You can enter your name. I can say Enoch, and then I click, and then it says hello Enoch. So we have the front end that is connected to the back end. So anyway, this is basically what the default project comes with. So like I said, we won't be needing the front end at the moment. So I'll just go ahead and delete all this stuff we don't need. All this stuff we don't need. Yeah. Okay. The GFX just one, the 20NV5 I was talking about, you see, they generated canister IDs for projects. So it deleted the front end here. I'll need to delete it as well. Okay. So now we only have our backend canister, and we can deploy it the same way. VFX deploy, and we can see now we only have our backend canister. So let's get into our backend canister and see if we can see something. Okay, so once you before you start doing some development, especially locally, one of the important things to do is to find the Motoko extension. Please find this Motoko extension here and make sure you deploy it. It will help you your project. It will help you in your code. For a lot of, I'm sure most of you are familiar with how these extensions work, like support for highlighting text, errors, everything else. It will be helping you. So it's very important that once you have your local environment, install this in your VS Code, and your life will be easy. So this is the actor, right? In Motoko, or a canister is wrapped in an actor expression, right? So this will be like the environment that will be executing your code on the internet computer when it's when it's deployed, right? So that's the first thing you do. You write an actor, and then you get into writing your actual code. So for the actual code, like there's a few things to understand. Like we have expressions and declarations. Let's say when you want to actually start writing your code. So some expressions are usually like declarations. I mean, are what you use for declaring some mutable variables, immutable variables, actors, and what's not, and expressions. So, for example, a declaration would be like here, like X, yeah, or maybe like this. Let's name X, maybe is equal to world. So this is a declaration, right? And an expression will be like a combination of both of these. So let's say, or maybe let's say X. Okay, not text. So an at, right? It will be like this. That's how you declare, and this one is immutable. If you want your declarations to be mutable, you use the keyword here. So I think this can like take some time to try to get into the weeds of how this works. Let me show you the documentation you can navigate to really understand Motoko syntax and everything. Internet computer, and then we come to developer docs. Motoko. Okay, let's do this. There's an awesome tutorial on the internet computer called the developer journey. You guys should definitely check it out. It will guide you through a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's say here on the slide. To call. Yeah, so definitely check this out. I'll send you the links for these docs after this, so you guys can go through the Motoko syntax, get to really understand how this works at your own pace, and kind of really understand everything. We'll send this up after this session. There's something else I need to show you. Okay, so you might also have been wondering, like, where am I getting those commands, gfx start, gfx clean, whatever. We have them here. Let's say gfx commands. We have the gfx here, right? So you can actually search for that, and then this will guide you on everything you might need on gfx. gfx build, deploy, creating a new project, whatever you will be going through. Yeah, so that's it for the command. You just come to this website. If you are not sure where exactly the documentation are, search here or ask here, and it will give you some good directions for you to actually get started. So from here, let's try to create maybe a simple. Okay, let's try to explain like what's already here. We have this function. That's how you declare functions in Motoko, right? We have public query. So in canisters, there's really two main functions, two main type of functions. There are three. There are query functions, there are update function, and there are composite functions. But the main functions for now, you may need to worry about for now is like query and update functions. So basically, this is what you do, what you do to declare a query function, right? You literally use the keyword query. So what this function does is it just like fetches information from the canister. It doesn't alter any state of the canister, and it also doesn't like go through consensus. So it's also like very fast. In the middle of milliseconds, it can return you your results. So it's fast because it doesn't go through consensus. Some of you might be aware with the term consensus on blockchain. That's whereby nodes need to agree on the validity of a message, right? So the query function doesn't go through that, but an update function, which alters the state of the canister, it goes through consensus. Hence, it takes a bit of time, but a few seconds as well, like 2 or so, like 1 or 2 seconds, it would have processed your message. So really, when you are creating your canister, those are the kind of things to put in mind. If you forget to put a query, to put like the keyword query on a function that is supposed to be a query, it will be executed as an update function, and you may end up having your code running slow unnecessarily because you are querying data, but it's going through consensus. So to know the difference between the two is just that, is your function updating your state of the canister, or is it just querying the information? And if you just do that, you'll be good. So we have public query, and then func is the keyword for the function, and then the name of the function, the parameter you are passing, and then if you are going to be calling, if you have to use the public keyword, you need to make your calls asynchronous. So you put the async keyword, and then here is the return type of what we are expecting. If we put, let's say, not here, it will give an error because this is not a natural number we're expecting here. Expression of cannot produce a nut. So here you are safeguarding yourself. You are making sure something returns exactly the right thing. You play the return type. And then so let's see, let's try to create a counter function. Counter this goes to 0, right? And then we declared this this counter variable, right? And then we can say, what can we do here? We can say set and then maybe 9 not here. And we are really not expecting anything from this function, so we can return nothing, and then counter and set counter to argument, right? You see, we get this error, unexpected mutable. So as I explained before, let is for an immutable variable. So I want to change the state of the counter, so I must call it var, then the error is gone. Okay, and another problem, this should not be a query function. This should be just a function, because we are altering the state. And then for the query now, okay, for the query now, let's all right. we can pass in the argument query. Not the argument, I mean the keyword query. So now we are just getting the state. We would have the state we would have set for the counter. Yeah, and to increase our value, this will be the function to increase. We can just do counter. Right. And that's it. This should be a function. Right. Yeah, so that's basically how you create your functions. Let's deploy this. Okay, so I had some code already, right, running on my local network for this canister, right? So now I'm updating new code to the canister, so it's now giving me this warning that I should be that the code I am about to install in the canister is different from what is already there. Do I wish to continue that way? So I will just say yes, and then it will update. It will install the new code for my canister, and then I can go to the candid UI. I can start calling the functions. So let's say I call the get, we had 0. I call the increase, I increased by 1. You notice how long it took to run this function. Let me try to call. I will get 1. I call the get function. You see, it's a query function, right? It like returned instantly. I increase again. Notice it will take like 1 or 2 seconds. Then it's increased. It's increased again, and then here I'm changing the state. Let's say I'm setting it to 7. Again, it will take some time as well. So these are basically like the building blocks for functionalities for actually building whatever logic you might want. We will get more into some more kind of complicated patterns in the coming days. But yeah, this is how you get your canisters to test them with this candid UI. So let's say this was your homework project. So what you will need to do now, if you were deploying locally, if you're developing locally, you will now just do okay. Do not just do dfx deploy playground. Because now you want to submit, right, to the website. We showed you in the morning. So some of you might not be aware of it. I will go through it again and show you guys. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to deploy it on the playground now. I'll just do dfx deploy playground. So to be able to submit, you should deploy it on the on the playground. That way it will be on the live network temporarily. And then you use this link. There you go. You now have your canister deployed on the playground. And also, like I mentioned earlier, only when you deploy it on the playground can you share it with someone. Let's say you're having some challenges, or you created your code, you think it's correct, but somehow it's being rejected. If you deploy it on the playground, you can just literally share this URL with anyone, and they'll be able to check it out and help you figure out what the problem is. So that's how you deploy to the playground. And then for those who were not with us in the morning, this is the Motoko playground. This is another environment where you can deploy your canisters if you don't want to, if you want to avoid the hassle of, if you want not really a hassle, really, maybe just want to avoid maybe the labor of installing the packages, or maybe if you're having challenges, if you're literally having challenges of deploying, of installing locally the packages, you can develop on the playground, on the Motoko playground. So here we will be able to do literally everything we were doing in VS Code locally. You develop your project as we were doing, and then when you feel like you are done, you can just deploy it here. It will tell you this, what is telling you, and then you install the code. Then it's creating a canister. It created this canister, right? And like this thing kind of takes forever, but if you want to quickly get to your candid UI, you click here, this right arrow here for the candid UI, and then it will redirect you to the candid UI of your project, and then you can quickly see and test whatever you would have developed. So again, if you're not with us, like you might wondering why are we deploying on the playground, etc. So because we want you to be able to submit some of the projects you would have, the homeworks you would have completed. We'll share with you the homework for today shortly, which you have to do and submit. So the website where you do your submissions, we haven't configured the custom domain as yet. It's still on its raw internet computer format. Yeah, let me just do a few stuff. Do this. Let me know if you guys can still see my screen. I'm on this new browser. You can still see my screen, right? Okay. Cool. Yeah, so this is the website still in development. So what you will do is you will log in here. So actually submissions will tell you, I think tomorrow we will let you know when you are able to actually submit. Right now there's a few things we need to update so that the submissions will actually work, and so you can actually see what we have accomplished. So you come to this website, we share with you the URL, you log in, with internet identity or NFID. NFID will allow you to create an internet identity, but using your Google or the credentials, right? You won't need to create the actual internet identity if you find it. If face some challenges creating the actual internet identity, for some people usually face some problem when they want to create an internet identity. So you create. I already have the internet identity. If you don't, you will see an option to create an internet identity like this, and then you basically have to go through the steps. It will be guiding you. Then you create your own identity. But for now, I will just go ahead and use my identities I already have. Let's see. So you use a passkey. It can be saved in your phone or a security passkey, like, or your computer if you have fingerprint, whatever you have. And then you authenticate the internet identity. And then if you're new, you will have to register. So you just fill out your username here, whatever you want. And, your GitHub username, then you register. Right. So you come here on the submit tab, and here, so this is where you submit your project, right? So you pass in the canister ID. So whether you have deployed locally at the playground or you have deployed on the playground itself, on the motor playground, what you just need for a submission is the canister ID. You come and you paste it here, and then you select which homework you're submitting, homework 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. You select, you submit. It will do some verification, and if your homework passes, it will tell you that you have passed, and it will mark the day, the homework for that day has passed. And then if there's an error, it will show you here, and you try to figure out where you went wrong and reach out if you can't figure out what's really wrong with your code. So that's it. Not really. Let me show you. I think let me introduce you to the homework you guys will be working with. So share with you just now. So this is the repository. So you come to, we'll share with you this repository. You come to homeworks. You go to homework 1, and then this is follow these instructions, right? And there's some reading here for you to really understand some of the stuff like variables, comments, functions, types, inspo, whatever. This will help you. You have to go through this. This will help you to build to be able to build the canister for your code, for your homework. And then yeah, for this one, it will be a calculator. The one you will be developing here. And let's see. Yeah. So we have the structure for you, for what you will be creating. So you basically need to complete these functions and make them work as they should. You have some challenges, just yeah, like here everything is simple, really. Like the structure and everything is already there, set up for you. What you just need is to put the functionality, what you want to create. And yeah, when you are done, um, you can just we will let you know in the morning what time you can submit. So another thing now, a problem with doing this on the playground is if you do your project, your homework on the playground right now, and it is here saying like you are not ready to submit right now. If you develop it there and then you wait to submit maybe tomorrow, right? If you close your browser and you go back again, you won't find it there. It will be gone, right? You don't have access to like log in. So I really encourage you to to install this locally and to install the CDK locally and try to develop locally. But if you have challenges, you can just create a file locally and save your code somewhere in some file. Then when you are ready to submit, you can just go to the playground, put your code there, run it, and submit. So I think that's it for today. Okay, one more resource I would like to share with you guys, just for you to get you might be confused how to actually build some functionalities in your canisters, in your homeworks. There's this good repository from the from the Definity GitHub, full of examples, right? You can come to Motoko here, then you can see a number of examples here. You can look and get a good sense of how canisters are actually built. Some the examples ranges from simple to very, very complex projects. So this will be good as well, not for only the homework, like for the entire thing, for the bootcamp and the hackathon. Ultimately, you can get a good idea of building a lot of cool stuff from these examples, right? So you can find them on the Definity GitHub. Yeah, Definity, and then you go to examples here. This is where you find it. I'll try to remember to send the links as well to this. So another good resource for the homeworks, and as you think ahead and plan ahead for what you are going to be building in the hackathon, this is a fantastic resource. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Maybe there are some questions now. I think this is now the perfect time. Anyone with questions? It looks like you are all good. Okay. go ahead and mute your mic.
Good day, Mr. Enoch.
Good day, Katumile.
Yeah, I'm new to canisters, and what I'm figuring, or what I'm trying to figure out is, are they somehow, is the logic somehow similar to containers? Like, Docker containers
The
on the
Docker
website side.
containers.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of highlighted that in the morning as well. So yeah, you can think of canisters in that way as well. You can, if you're aware of smart contracts, canisters are smart contracts. If you're aware of Docker containers, canisters are like, you can, a canister is literally a container in itself. Like, so the canisters will be like a container that is running your code on the internet computer network, but with its limitations and also advantages as compared to containers as well. But yeah, that's basically the way to think about it. Another way to think about it, like it's kind of running your code, but on the internet computer, it will be running as WebAssembly code because the code is compiled to WebAssembly. But that's the idea.
All right. Now I'm getting an understanding now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, so it looks like we are all good. Session has been recorded. We'll share with you if you want to revisit and see some stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for joining in. Thank you. I'll share with you some links to the homework so you can start playing around in with the playground or developing locally. If you're having challenges, please, you are more than welcome. Feel free to reach out in the group or privately, however you want, and we'll be very happy to help you. So yeah, I'll send the link to the homework afterwards, and then you can get started. And tomorrow, yeah, we'll let you know when the website is ready for you to actually submit your project. So thank you guys. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. Let's catch up tomorrow in the morning session. Bye everyone.